Okay, so to get this punishment tutorial started, we're going to go over some of Ancient Ogre's. First, we're going to go over his common moves, then we're going to go over his grabs, and then we're going to go over his scary moves. I think it's best to start with Ancient Ogre's most iconic moves, and those are his moves that he does while flying. So as you can see right here, I have all of the moves he can do while flying from neutral, and I'm going to be showing you guys just a simple answer to that. And as you can see, whenever he flies from neutral, all you have to do to guarantee that everything he does whiffs is just sidestep right and then prepare for him to come down so that you can launch him. Now it is kind of tricky, the timing on how to get a good launch on his way down, but if you want to play it safe, you can throw out jabs before he comes down, which is by far the easiest way to deal with it. Or you can just get used to the timing. I really recommend just messing around with your character just to see how they deal with it, because a lot of stuff really whiffs depending on how you launch him when he comes down. You'll find yourself dropping a lot of combos. So this is just everything you can do from flying from neutral, and all you have to do is just sidestep right or left. And if you're really in a bind, you can duck, but it's best to just sidestep right or left. And you can see here with Murdoch, and also please forgive my execution. I just started using a Korean arcade stick when I did this recording, so it is going to be a little sloppy, so just bear with me. But we'll get the punishment done. Now, True Ogre can also fly from a grounded position. One thing about Ancient Ogre flying from the grounded position is he has to be feet towards and face up like this, and you see he can do this. Now this move here is on block is it's negative 15, and it's really hard, not really hard, but it's pretty difficult to step, and a lot of True Ogres like doing this a lot, especially the newer ones. So when you see them feet towards, face up, just always look out for it. Also, it does take them a bit of time for it to start up, so if you notice that the True Ogre is laying down for quite a bit of time, you can also expect them to do this attack. And you see Murdoch can do down forward 4-3, or he can also do 4-4-1 plus 2 to punish it. And I'm pretty sure Murdoch has a lot more options. I'm just going to be going over Murdoch's basic punishment options in this video. And he also has this move, which is another sort of flying from neutral. It's negative 12 on block, I believe. Or no, it's negative 13. And it's a way that True Ogre can really close the gap. It's extremely hard to step this move, and they all are mids. So that's one thing you also want to be aware of. Another thing that you want to be aware of is a lot of times, because True Ogres know this move is so punishable when the string is done in its entirety, they like to just do 1 or 2 of them and mix you up. So it's very important to be extremely aware of the True Ogre when they're doing that. Remember, there's 3 hits to the entire string. And just watch out and make sure that you jab punish them. That's the only way to punish them if they do anything less than the 3 attacks. So that's just that. So now we're going to go over the moves that True Ogre does in close range. 1-1-2, just like a lot of Mishimas, is extremely punishable. I believe it's negative 14 on block, and on hit it is neutral. So you know, you definitely do have a lot of options for punishing that. Murdoch would do down forward 4, down forward 4, 1 plus 2. I'm sorry, down forward 4, 2. I always hit 1 plus 2. I don't know why, but anyways, down forward 4, 2 is good for Murdoch. This is another move. This is his 3-2. One thing about this move is it's negative 3 on block, so it is very safe, but it can be sidestepped to his right or left, or it can just be simply crouched and launched. If the second part of the attack whiffs, then he's extremely punishable. One thing Murdoch can do is down 1 plus 2 to sort of simultaneously counterattack this for a launch. King can also do the same thing. And yeah, you do a little combo like that. You can really expect this move a lot on Wake Up, and you can also expect it. You can expect it a lot on Wake Up. With Jack 6 has a similar move, and so does Paul. And these moves are really good, catching back roll, as well as catching people trying to attack on Wake Up. So that's his 3-2. This move is his 4-2. And this is really his keep out move. This move is -12 on block, so it is fairly safe against most of the roster. King, he can do a back 1-2, as we demonstrated in so many videos. This can also be sidestepped if anticipated. I don't think it can be sidestepped on reaction, and you can sidestep it to his backside. And for Murdoch, yeah, as you guys can see here, Murdoch cannot punish this. Now it is -12, so you can position yourself a little bit better, but you know, Ancient Ogre has a lot of tricks. I think it's back 1 or back 2 can definitely stop you in your tracks for a high damage combo. So just be aware when you see this move, knowing that it's -12. The next move is down forward 2-1-2. This is an extremely popular string amongst Ancient Ogre players. Another thing, this string is -13 on block. And another thing to note about this string is a lot of times true ogres know that this string is highly punishable if they finish a string. So what they like to do is they like to finish it on the second hit and then buff out their 1+2 grab, which they can net around 80 to 100 damage off of. So you always want to be ready to break a 1+2 grab break when you're seeing this string, and you always want to punish the last hit of it. It's -13. Now this next move is another move that's very common in close range and very common on Wake Up, and that's down forward 1-1. This move is -10 on block. I believe it's a bind move of Ancient Ogres. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's -10 and it's really good at close range. Also on Wake Up because it is a mid-mid. So the next set of moves we're going to go over are Ancient Ogre's moves at range. And believe it or not, Ancient Ogre he's decent at range, but he's not incredible, as a lot of people like to say. The first move we're going to go over is his up forward 1+2, which is his capital punishment. And I believe this is a complete port over of Armor King's capital punishment because it is pretty instant. He doesn't have the same crouch animation that King has before he does his capital punishment. Another thing about Ancient Ogre's capital punishment is that he has a slightly bigger hitbox than King and Armor King, so it is more difficult to sidestep than their capital punishments. Now you can sidewalk this move and launch him after he whiffs it, or you can do what I like to call the capital punishment shield for people that love doing capital punishment. You can just throw a whole bunch of random jabs in the air and it'll catch him and float him. Capital punishment is a very fragile move. Even though it's extremely effective, it's also very fragile and it can be interrupted by even lows. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Throwing out random jabs, as I'm going to show you here, will definitely nullify capital punishment at range. So this is definitely a serious move that you should look out for, and always keep in mind and know how to deal with. It's also +2 on block, so be prepared to break a 1+2 grab. The next move we're going to go over is his back 2, and this move is kind of weird visually. As you can see, if you're a decent sized character like King, you can still sidestep it left at 0 range, even a little bit around 1 range, and you can also launch him. This move is I think -16 on block, but because of the pushback and the block animation, it is very difficult to punish. Most characters aren't going to be able to punish it. I can't do it with King. I don't know who else can do it. But as you also just seen there, on whiff, this move is actually launch punishable. You can actually run in and launch him. So the next move we're going to go over is up forward 1+2, 1+2. And this is Bob's main whiff punisher, or most noteworthy whiff punisher. And if he does both of them, then it is launch punishable. Unlike Bob's though, if he gets this on counter hit, he has a different animation where he sort of charges to the wall. He doesn't really do that much damage, so you are sort of able to sort of take the risk of trying to punish him for the first attack, which I believe is -13 or -12. But you know, it's also good practice in my opinion, especially if you're up against the wall, to just go ahead and hold your block, and at worst comes to worst, be prepared to do break a 1+2 grab. This next move is up 4-3-4. I think this is Heihachi's up 4-3-4. I could be wrong, sorry in advance, but this is actually -8 on block. It doesn't give frame advantages. It's very easy to expect this move to get frame advantages. In fact, it doesn't. So one good piece of advice is, after you block this move, just go ahead and reestablish your offense by just jabbing against the block. There's really nothing he can do about it. If he tries to get crafty with it, then he'll take some counter hits. And as you can see here, also you can sidewalk this move. This move is also extremely linear. And that's pretty much it as far as what you can expect from Ancient Ogre at range. So now that we're at the halfway mark, I think it's best that we get into the grab montage. I think a lot of people will find this useful, seeing as how most people cannot grab breaks on reaction. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and get it started. Okay, so now that we're done with the grab montage, we're going to be going over Ogre's scary moves, homing moves, and highly punishable / gimmicky moves. The first move that I think we should go over is Ogre's down forward 2. This is a pretty scary move, mainly because it's fairly unseeable, and when it's mixed up with his Wild Rising 1, as I'll show you guys later on, it can be very difficult to defend against. Also, it's very difficult to see Ogre and crouch. And as you can see with Murdoch, I can do down forward. I can quickly rise and do down forward 3, down forward 2 for his launch. Or at a range, you can sidewalk it to the left. Now, I will say that sidewalking to the left is fairly unreliable. Also, because of how unseeable the move is, and because of the sort of quote-unquote mix-up that he can do with a Wild Rising 2. So I mean, you know, I guess overall the best thing to know about this move is that it is -19, and it is launch punishable from crouching position. The next move I wanted to go over is Ogre's down forward 1+2. Now this move is scary for multiple reasons. Overall, it's scary because this is an extremely good move. It's a launcher. It tech crouches or high crushes extremely well, and it's only -10, and it has a lot. The tracking is a lot better than it looks, so it is very deceiving with its tracking. It has fairly decent tracking. It's pretty difficult to sidewalk or sidestep if you're not anticipating. So this is his down forward 1+2. As I said before, this is only -10 on block. Against the wall, of course, it doesn't have the pushback, but it's a good move. It's just a really good move. So that's pretty much it for the down forward 1+2. The next move we're going to be going over is, this is actually a surprise for me. I think this is Okay, yeah, this is back 2. This move is -8 on block, and I personally like to just buff a giant swing out of it to sort of make them stop doing this move. But the reason this move is scary is because on counter hit, it causes a stun, and they can do a lot of damage off of this hit. With Murdoch, you can do 4/4 1+2. I like to grab after moves that are around -8, -8, -9 range. I like to just throw out grabs sometimes, just to kind of like counter the unpunishable move, I guess. The next move is a move that he can do crouching, and I think it's down forward 3/4. I could be wrong about this. This move on hit, you just basically just hold down forward, and I could be wrong about this, so I'll use an annotation. I do not think that this move is cancelable into a while rising attack, but I could be wrong. As I said before, I'll use the annotation. But as you can see, even on hit, all you have to do is just hold down forward to parry it. This move is safe on block, and it is a combo starter of ogres, and that's what makes this move so scary. The next, and I think final move we're going to be going over is his While Rising 1 or While Rising 2. I could be wrong about that. I'll use this in annotation. It's basically the exact same move as a lot of Mishimas, but this move, unlike Kazuya and Devil Jin, has a lot more range. It is launch punishable. It's fairly difficult to launch punish. This is one of those moves that on paper you would think it'd be easy to launch punish, but it's one of those very strict moves for launch punishment, so that's another thing to keep in mind. It is launch punishable, but it's scary because of its range and also its effectiveness, a lot of damage. Now we're going to go over the moves that put him at frame advantage. This is his 4/4/4 3+4. This is basically a port over from Bob's 4/4/4 3+4. It puts him at +8, I believe. Let's see. No, +8 to +15 on block. No, it puts him at +8 on block, I'm sorry, and +15 on hit. It's an extremely good move at range if it can be done properly, and as you can see, you can pretty much buff it out pretty easily. But this move is also extremely linear, so it can be sidewalked at range. And basically against Ogre, you really do want to do a lot of sidewalking in one direction at range, because there's really not much he can do at the distance that this move is most effective. It also is a very difficult move to whiff punish, so you want to keep that in mind. With King, I just did a back 3. Next move is Ogre's While Rising 3. He can also do this as 4/4/4/3. This is a very deceiving move because it puts him at +9, and it looks like it puts him at disadvantage visually. You would think this move, Ogre, is at disadvantage, but he's actually at +9. So this is his While Rising 3. A lot of options that he can do after this to sort of make you pay for it, and it's very scary specifically because of how deceiving it is and how much frame advantage he gets from it. This is True Ogre's primary homing move. He can do 1 or 2 swipes. If he does 2 swipes, it's -13. As you can see with Murdoch, I do down forward 3-2. And forgive me if any of these notations are wrong. I'll be using pop-ups in the video to correct them. But this is down forward 3-2 with Murdoch. And with K, I just do back 2-1. Okay, so now we're going to wrap this tutorial up with his highly punishable / gimmicky moves. And please forgive me for my execution in advance. As I said before, this is my first day on the Korean arcade stick. So yeah, just bear with me. So this first move is his 1+2, 1+2, 1+2. It leaves you in a crouch position, so you do have to do a While Rising launcher. With Murdoch, I do While Rising 3. And as you can see, I get the launch with that attack there. With King, I do While Rising 1+2 and finish the combo. As you can see, a lot of things, weird things just drop on True Ogre because of the size of his legs. So whenever you combo him, you want to treat him similar to the way you would treat a bear when you combo a bear. Just certain combos just do not land all the time. Look at that execution. Horrible. Alright, so yeah, that's his 1+2, 1+2, 1+2. Alright, now the next move we're gonna go over is, I think it's his sidestep. Oh no, this is pretty much Hwoarang's launch. I think it's down 4-4 or down 3-3. Basically, all you have to do is just duck the second hit and launch him. This is a move that they try to use as keep out, but this is definitely a move that should be punished, and more than often just goes unpunished. So make sure you duck the second hit and then you launch him. This next move is sidestep 2, and I think it's around -13 and -14 on block. So with King I do back 1-2, and with Murdoch I do down forward 4-2. Okay, the next move we're gonna go over is Ogre's sidestep 4. It's a highly punishable move, fairly seeable. I know it has some special traits on counter hit, but yeah, you just block it and launch it, and that's pretty much wraps the entire How to Punish Ogre tutorial up. If you like the music used in this tutorial video, you can find it on my Tracks for Tekken Tunes. Feel free to share this video with whoever you think could find it useful, and if you'd like to do these videos yourself, by all means please do them. They are a lot of work. Next How to Punish tutorial video is going to be How to Punish Jinpachi. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. It's been fun. It's your boy Punisher 1564 signing out. Peace.